Alright, we are back from our break. The party has, most of the party has headed over to the Temple of Ptah with a request to get some restoration performed on Higamus. Of course, I had the page up with the High Priestess's name, and then I closed it when we went to the break. Hold on a second, I gotta get this back open.
As you do.
Yeah.
Braxon would know exactly what the High Priestess's name is, being a very devout member of this pantheon.
Braxon would, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Big Mac, the player, does.
You should.
Alright, so...
Well, you mean Endocclesia?
Yes, and Ecclesia, yes.
I win.
Solas does know the highest member of the Church of Ogma in this Rock of Brawl.
It wasn't a race.
What, you?
Yes.
No, I tried looking up Ptah in my notes and I found Iron Grip, which is a pirate ship that's a barge Ptah.
Yes, anyway, so you make it known that you are in need of very powerful magical restoration for Higamus after an encounter with a vampire.
You know what's going to be funny? We get restoration, he resists with magic resist.
That might happen.
Yeah. Can we?
There's an elven spell. There's an elven spell. One of my members of my pantheon that can suppress the resistance.
There is.
Yes, but that's also like he's an anti-dro.
Yeah,
deity,
but it could work.
It's not very common. Like, number one, not very common in space. Number two, not very common outside of the realms.
I mean,
Would Lafdul have heard of that?
Oh yeah,
I suppose he might.
He's from the realm, so he's
Realm-based.
heard of Chevresh.
And
well,
also
when I was
knows
making
how-
inquiries, was there a priest of Chevresh?
There is most definitely not a priest of Chevresh here on Brawl.
You Chevresh?
He's a deity devoted to fighting Dro. So you're ushered into Andeclesia's office, and she says, "Yes, my children, I understand that you are in need of restoration for your friend, one of your friends."
Yes, thank you very much for seeing us. Yeah, we fought this horrible undead monster, and it's done some sort of draining effect on our gift friend Higamus.
And after whispers to Braxon, it was a vampire, dwarven vampire.
A dwarven vampire.
The spell in question is beyond my normal capabilities, but I do have some magical scrolls that have the spell available. I certainly can make these available to you, cast these for you, but it would, of course, require a considerable donation on your part to the temple's proceeds for charitable works and administrative duties.
We also have a scroll ourselves. We were hoping that you could cast a spell for us. Would this be like a known thing that someone else can cast a spell for someone because they're more able to, so to speak?
Yeah, she's a more powerful priestess. Spells
So
are definitely are known
how
that they
would
would
you
not
word it? Is it possibly for you to
you're
attempt
more
the
you're more
casting?
experienced at this than I am. We have
then,
the
yeah,
scroll.
All right. We mentioned
Braxon.
that we've got a scroll of restoration, and I show her it's we have the means of doing it once, but myself and our other priest are only middling experienced in casting such high level magics.
What is the casting level of the scroll?
So
14th.
14th. All right.
No, it's only 5% for her. Yeah, but 5% and a 10%. Yeah, they all have.
I can certainly use this if you'd like. Will this be enough to restore your friend? I will still, of course, need a donation for my time.
Oh, of course. Of course you will.
Should we just pay for this for the moment?
Do you wish it done?
Yes. I know I'm kind of like speaking to the group here.
Well, we should get it done.
Alright, she
What would
takes
be
a
a
scroll
decent-
and begins to cast.
We lie Higgins down. Higgins, lie down.
He doesn't have to lie down.
Well, last time you did it in role-playing with the dwarves on Radel,
Oh.
you told him to lie down. It was Braxon, wasn't it? Because there's backlash. Well, if it's read from the scroll, there's no backlash, I suppose. Bloodcaster. Actually, when you go to make a scroll, wouldn't you suffer the backlash as you made the scroll?
Generally, any of the effects of casting a spell, like aging or something like that, would be affected upon you when you create a scroll.
Yes, it's the one who made the scroll. Yeah.
So, she begins invoking the power of the scroll, touches Higimus, and Higimus takes a deep breath and says, "Oh, I feel better, but not quite up to my old self." She turns to you and says, "It appears that the damage done to him was more extensive than this one single spell could handle. As I said, we do have scrolls here of this nature, but I would... they're very difficult to replace. I'm
Braxon.
certainly able to put that to use, but it will be considerably more...
Braxon's going to
donation.
offer Braxon's going to offer 1,000 gold pieces.
I appreciate the offer, and I will certainly take it, but this is a considerable expense on our part to get replacements. These are quite valuable to the church.
Like restoration's like 50k.
And your friend is, of course, not a member of our church.
Yeah, I have tried to talk all of them round, but I've not got on well so far.
I'm seeing if I have any scrolls on my bed to trade. Well, I do, but I don't want to trade my scroll of gaze on. This guy's the 18th level.
Well, I mean, so basically this is when you start piling the stuff in that you want to... that you're willing to trade away.
Maybe we need to do that identifying stuff with the magic and see if there's anything we can't use.
Leva can only cast one identify per day, remember.
Right. How long have we got before
We don't.
these spells won't work on our friend?
Just a handful of days at this point.
Handful of days. Right.
More than one at least, I think.
More than one, yes, but just a handful.
Let's see.
I mean, just because you haven't identified something doesn't mean that you can't trade it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can say, we don't know what this does, but, like, no one in our party really likes this type of weapon. No one in our party can use this armor. We don't know what this ring does. We don't know what this wand does, but we're willing to trade it away.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's worth. It's worth less.
I'm trying to have a quick look through the stuff to see if there's anything that none of us can use that we would definitely not want.
Oh, we got that really, really valuable dagger. That was a vain, holy thing for the deep Tuerga. Not deep Tuerga. Just
We
Tuerga.
could give all the books away while Lever's not looking.
You do not touch the
Oh.
books.
Librarian.
Hagemus will offer up one of the new swords, not the one that he got from the Sphinx, but the one he got on the Citadel. The two-handed sword.
Hmm.
Well, the
I'm
book
just
thing is
looking through
important enough that even though Leva isn't there, she is going to sort of. She has this feeling something is wrong.
Well, hold on. First of all, like, I would have thought that you guys, both as players and as characters, would have discussed what you'd be willing to donate.
No, we haven't, unfortunately.
No
beforehand.
books, no
No.
books.
I
So-
mean,
Hold on.
weapons-
Let me finish, please. So if one of you who is not there right now says, I would have said that this could be traded, this could be donated to this service, that's fine. If you say, yeah, we would have discussed this beforehand, I would have said that this item could be donated. I'm perfectly fine with that. So the people who are not there can make their donations, quote unquote, even though they're not there.
What about that suit of banded armor? It's sized for a dwarf.
How about the rainbow discs? So far, we've done nothing but blow them up.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you guys want to offer.
Well, no one's
can
found
add
it
it.
useful.
Well, we haven't been able to study them enough.
Can anyone use a battle axe? We picked up a dwarven battle axe.
Isn't that the flaming one I'm using?
There was another one.
Oh.
If there is another one, I don't think anyone else is using
battle
battle
axe
axes
with-
at the moment.
Are you using the one that has a pale blue, like a transparent blade, silver haft?
We did get that banded armor sized for a dwarf.
I was thinking Roger could use it, but she's not really a party member. Plus, she's getting a talking hammer.
Yeah.
One would assume that she's getting it at this point.
Well, that was made by the Duergar, but it might be of some use to them.
Do you? I will make a general inquiry. Do you have dwarves in your pantheon? Do you have members of? Are there any dwarven priests of Ptah around, or warriors of Ptah? I mean, that could benefit with. We got some armor sized for a dwarf. I don't know if that would be of any interest to you. Do we know if it's magical?
There are certainly some in the flock who are dwarves, yes. There are some who... I have encountered
right.
some dwarven priests of who worship Ta directly rather than, in his various forms in their pantheon.
The only
I just
thing
realised it's got a
is-
reason.
The only thing is Varadra said it had a symbol of someone called Ladigur on it. I don't know.
That might offend.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Well, the thing is, a dwarf that isn't a member of the dwarven pantheon might not be as taken aback by someone who worships a different pantheon. That's what's going through my head.
Yeah, but the one problem with that is if you are a follower of one deity and you're wearing armor that has a symbol of another deity, people are going to assume that you follow that other deity. Even if you're not a priest, in fact, people are going to assume that you follow that deity.
Yeah, if you were to wear a chainmail of Loki, Ockar would really think you worship Loki.
Should we? I make a general inquiry. Is it items of magical worth are more important to you, or items of? What's the term for physical wealth? Like literal wealth?
I think it's probably more what can help the church.
Yes. Well, money is always useful.
Because like a suit of armor could help the church.
Yeah, money is always going to be useful. But I mean, the simple fact is that a non-magical item, like a piece of jewelry or a gem, would have to be extremely valuable to be of an equivalent monetary worth.
Well, it's not going to be equivalent, but
Well,
yeah, I know what you mean.
In terms of trading value and donation value.
Is anyone interested in using that mace made out of pure iron with silver banding on the half?
That's what Higamus was using. It's good against constructs.
Okay.
Higamus was just using it, though, but if you guys want to donate that one.
What about that steel dagger with silver hilt and pearl pommel?
Is it magical?
It is listed as magical combat bonus.
Oh, I might want it. Use daggers.
Well, we've got a.
I'm not overly fussed by it. Just a general magical.
Right.
Dagger,
So the thing is that if you haven't identified it yet, to a certain extent, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're. Yeah. I mean, if you hold on to it and it's like, oh, that mace is just a +1 mace. Oh, that dagger, it's just a +2 dagger. You know, it's like it doesn't have anything special about it, and it's not as good as the stuff that I'm currently using. Now you've held on to it when you could have given it away. Yeah, it may have instead been a mace +5 of disruption. But if you didn't know that it was that in the first place, then are you really missing out?
I mean,
I'm actually forgiving something that we have had for a very long time, and we keep forgetting about it, and that is the leather pouch of plenty. Because we keep forgetting about filling it up, we keep forgetting about emptying, and they probably wouldn't.
That's infinite wealth. That item literally makes infinite. Wow, Higamus was doing it when he was doing the things. That's why.
Yeah, now someone else has to take over for that.
Yeah.
But it's still a useful item.
It's still a valuable item if you want to put that in for the donation.
Anyone can retire with that. It's more valuable than anything else we currently own, the iron itself.
What about the small steel-rimmed wooden shield that is painted with an upright crossbow?
Small shield.
For the pouch, if we forget to fill it up, and if we don't empty it,
give it Lafdul for that.
Then it's not worth anything. You can say it's worth more than anything
else it's
we have, but
item.
if we don't use it, then it's not worth anything. Then we might as well throw it away.
Levy, it's because it's a group item. If I had that item, I would be doing that religiously.
But you would still need to be talking to me.
We haven't yet completely agreed upon who is taking over all the duties that Higamus have.
How about we stop bothering in Ecclesia and go away and assess the stuff we've got and see if maybe we want Finn to have it.
Real fast. Yeah. I'm perfectly fine with a hand waving this and saying that this discussion has already happened. You're coming here already ready to make donations.
Right.
So like in game time, this isn't happening.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
is that staff any good to Finn? Quarterstaff.
What staff?
You need to give me more information than that staff, that quarterstaff. You need to tell me like
okay. Sorry.
You don't have to read specifically off the description, but like saying the shield with an upright crossbow. I can find what you're talking about with that. I need to know at least something of the description.
Where's it gone? Oh, I'm looking for it.
Just to make sure that I'm not looking at the wrong item or something like that.
We need to do identification. We say.
But you don't have time. Like you can identify a couple items real fast. You had a day if you're fine with saying that you identified something on the way back. I'm okay with that. But you definitely do not have time to identify every single thing that you've gotten.
We've got a couple of battle axes.
The staff is a short walking staff of bronze wood bound with steel and featuring a hollow end.
Wasn't that the one that pokes out as like a bastion? No, what was that?
The long narrow spike projects from the hollow end.
Yeah, trade that in. That's magical.
You see,
I can't use it since it's a bladed weapon, basically.
Yeah, it's a Brandistock. That's what it's called. That's the type of weapon it is.
So it's a bit like a sword stick.
Sort of.
Yeah. I don't think most of us can use that.
Finn?
Finn could
Finn
use
could
it, but it
use
would be a
that.
different proficiency.
Right. We've got 2 battle axes. We've got a dwarven battle axe with odd shallow slots in the head and silver caps on the haft and dwarven runic writing. And we also have that one with the see-through head.
We also
The
have the
crystal
one I'm
head.
using, the one that's flaming.
Yeah. Can you use battle axes?
He's learning.
You're learning.
I
I'm
mean, he
learning
is currently
how to use
fighting
it
with
well.
battle axe.
Right. Well, I'm just trying to find weapons that we definitely can't use and just say we can just throw them all in.
Well, at the same time, if he's got a magical axe that he likes,
Yeah, and Ockar can't have too many magical
Yeah,
items. He has to donate. Whenever he takes a new one, he has to donate something else away.
Right. So on the 23rd.
Can you fight the battle axes, or are you planning on fighting with battle axes?
Braxton's just trying to give away stuff that he's not using.
Let's see, the weapon. Let's see, longsword.
Well, that was
crossbow,
what I was
axe.
asking. Are you planning on using battle axes?
No,
He's
that's
got
right.
a thing of lordly might. He's always going to use that. This is
Yeah.
Well, then we can most likely donate those extra battle axes, even if they are magical ones.
Yeah.
so do you want to put them both in?
Yeah.
Everyone
Should
agree?
we get that? Should
Yeah.
we get items?
Since we don't have time to identify everything. And there are some magic items that none of us will be using,
Yeah.
like those battle axes.
What if it's a battle axe that restores the dead to life and it has charges?
Too
Well,
bad.
we-
I mean, like there comes a point when you
Alright,
take
yeah,
the gamble.
I
There
know,
comes a point where
I
you
know.
take the gamble. If
And
you have
none of,
items that you're happy with right now, then the question is, do you hold out hope that these other things that you got are better? In which case, you could give up the ones that you currently are using.
Yeah.
Or do you just say, I'm happy with what I have right now. I don't even know what this is right now. It's probably not all that much better. You know, it may just be a 6 of one, half dozen of the other type situation, and give it up. So, I mean, it's always up to you guys. But
One proposition that we had one day. So let's go through one series. Oops, sorry. Wow. Let's go through one round of identification. Just one round. That's all we had time for, and so let's go through and identify 1 or 2 items, or 3, or however many.
I can also cast identify if we have enough pearls.
Well, getting hold of the pearls would have been fine if we just arrived back on Brawl, so to speak. If we did this.
No, I think Old was saying you could have done it on the route.
Was it on the route? Alright.
yeah, this would be on the way home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he's
only
basically
the
saying. He's
only
basically
the
saying.
pearls that we have.
So if you're both going to say you could have done identify, he could retcon 2 lots if you have
I
2
do.
pearls.
It depends on how many pearls we had with us. I haven't carried pearls.
Apparently,
Or-
I've got 1 on me. I can give that one. I'm looking at my
So
shit. I've
that's
got
one spell.
So someone. Alright, so we'll just do that for the moment, I guess.
I think Higamus had one too.
So that's 2 spells.
Yeah, I think Higamus give up a pearl. Right, should we identify the things we're most likely to want to get rid of?
Leva
Yeah.
has 1 pearl.
Because like
So 3 identifies.
if you do something on that Durgar armor and we can't give it up anyway, it's a bit pointless.
Real fast, only 2 spells. Because it's 1 day, and you can really only do 1 identify spell because it knocks you out for 8 hours.
The battle
So 1
axes-
spell
Let's
per
do 2
person.
spells.
Yeah, 1 spell
So
per person.
Leva gives one pearl.
And I will cast another, but I will use the pearl, let's say Higimus gives.
Okay.
If you guys have pearls and you're using those, because I was just hand waving it,
Yeah.
just because he's
Yeah.
frequently had them in the past.
Yeah.
I don't actually know
Bra-
that he has one, so if you would definitely have
Braxon,
one.
Yeah,
I have the
definitely
other
have
one.
one on my sheet.
All
Okay.
right, Leva has definitely one.
Okay.
She actually has definitely two.
Okay, so what? Let's go with Leva's first. Let's see. All right. What item do you want to start with?
As we are being selective, I suggest we start in those items that we are most likely to give away.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
the
So-
battle axes. I don't
Battle
think
axe, okay.
Ockar's got his battle axe that he wants to use. Ideally, I think he said he was the only one that was able to use it.
Yeah,
So-
I'm keeping that axe. I'm keeping the flame battle axe because it's
Yeah,
easier
that's
useful for
fine.
undead, and only I can use it.
Is that the one that helps other
yeah.
people?
It's only usable by lawful aligned character, so I
Right.
could use it if I were able to
You
use
blunt it a
bladed
bit.
weapons.
You deframe the
Wow.
axe. Use the blunt end.
But yeah,
Use-
let's start with the battle axes.
Braxton's alignment is awful good.
Okay,
Also,
so starting with the axes. Let me get to that. All right, which axe do you want to start with?
The one
Let's
I have
start-
in front of me is this axe is clean, shiny, and pristine, as if newly made. It has a serrated blade, which is edged with geometric designs.
do we know if that's magical?
No, it doesn't say, so therefore we don't.
All right, well, you don't
I
need.
think
You can cast a detect magic beforehand if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
not going to be an issue.
Let's do that.
All right.
I will cast one. I'm sure that will probably cast the other one.
Yeah,
Give
fine.
me a second.
Yes. I suppose Solas could do one for each as well.
Okay.
Oh, that's the third axe.
So yes, that is magical. Both of you are casting that. Let me actually see if Leva's goes off. Yep. All right.
What variation? Because it matters for our percent. To get the
I got it.
score.
Okay. It is radiating necromancy and healing.
Okay.
There would be a subtle irony if I just accidentally guessed what that axe does.
Healing.
Most likely have
It's probably
it's a-
vampiric.
Could be.
Okay. You're going to cast Identify on that.
Could
Yes.
could Braxton hold that while he still was injured to see if it cures him?
At this point, no.
No,
Okay.
you would have to. One of us would have to be injured and you and see what it does or something. I don't know.
All right. So the Identify spell reveals first that it has a. It is enchanted to improve efficacy in combat, so it has a combat enchantment. And that is all that you learn.
Okay.
Okay. So
She'd
next
spend
item.
Could she not spend another charge on it?
That's
Yeah.
that's. She failed the second one, so.
Oh, right.
Let's see. I have here a battle axe with transparent blade.
That's the one that Braxton was trying to look through the blade, see if it did anything.
Okay. So detect magic on that.
Identify fails on that.
Oh. And detect magic.
Let's see. I thought that was detected, but I guess not.
It's probably an artifact.
That detects as enchantment, charm, and combat.
Which item? Sorry.
Enchantment, charm, and combat.
No, wait.
The blade with the clear head. The axe with the clear head.
We have an X with slots here. Is that a usable one, or is that from a statuette?
It's certainly usable. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Give me a second. Alright, that one detects as enchantment, charm, and law.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We did get some plate armor as well, didn't we?
And then you wanted to identify it?
Yes.
Assuming it's magical.
Okay, identify failed on that one too.
Wow, what? She must have got -5 on her level variation. He doesn't normally fail this much, unfortunately.
She probably used a bad pearl.
See alcohol. Oh no, this is the day before. Never mind.
Are we also going to identify the battle axe I'm using?
No, we're doing
we are identifying the spell, the items that we are most likely going to give away.
We're
Yeah.
failing a lot of the
Okay.
identification rules.
So we'll do that later, but not at the moment.
Alright, so next item.
And unless Ockar decides he likes one of those other axes, the one he's
No.
got.
Yeah, but then
Wants
he
to-
has to donate his axe, his current axe, to his temple.
Ah, true.
Yeah.
Since no one is most likely going to be using that walking stick.
The Brandestock.
Yeah,
You mean the short walking staff is made of bronze wood?
yeah.
Okay.
What? Out of curiosity, yeah, it probably is going to be used up, but just out of curiosity, what would it be classed as a weapon? Is it be a piercing one-handed spear?
It's a Brandestock. I mean, it's in the...
I suppose it.
I'll,
No, but
I'll
what's
look it
the
up. Hold
damage
on,
type?
hold on. Well, I mean, piercing, but I think you can...
I suppose it
primarily
might be
piercing
okay.
weapon.
I suppose
I'm
it
just
might be
wondering if
okay
it's,
for a wizard.
Is it a multifunctional weapon? Like a halberd?
I'm looking.
I suppose it might be of some use for a wizard if they're allowed to use it.
Well,
Piercing.
I
It's
think
not.
if a
It's not
wizard-
long enough to be used as a an actual staff.
Right.
Would it be used as a club or spear?
It would probably be useful for walking around Brow while looking like you're unarmed, but actually being armed. But
Yeah, that's the intent.
it can it can help us.
All right. So you want to identify that one?
Sorry, somebody's telling me they're going to kill me if I give the books away.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, we are going to
Anyway,
identify
Yes,
Where-
let's identify the short walking staff.
Okay. That does have a bonus to combat enchantment, and it has a secondary enchantment that holds people in place.
Sounds good.
Probably on headstone.
Okay.
most
Might-
likely.
Like Higimus's mace. That does.
It increases its value at least.
Yeah.
So if we gave away the 3 axes plus this walking staff, would that work out?
And Higimus already gave one of his two-handed swords.
Probably.
We've also got a two-handed sword from the lizard man. I
That's
don't
the
know
one.
if
That's the one he's.
That's
talking
the
about.
one Higimus gave.
That's the one Higimus gave.
Yeah.
Right, let's keep on.
Really evil trident.
Why don't we keep on identifying until we run out of spell?
I think that the trident is going to be destroyed.
How about the the evil trident? Yeah. How about the plate armor for a human? Was that magical?
No. It was just the belt that was magical in that guy,
Right.
if I remember correctly.
Well, we have a flask here with lead stopper.
What about the
They're
robe?
trying to identify
Sorry.
that.
We got a robe off the Illithid. Is that magical?
Mm-hmm.
I
you, does
don't
it-
believe the
does
robe
it-
was magical.
Oh, okay. Does it look obviously
Okay.
like an Illithid robe?
Plain grey with purple edging.
Yeah, and I don't think she'll want a wand of tongues.
What were you asking about, Leva? A flask?
How about we identify the large brass flask with the lead stopper circular pattern?
They tend not to be worth a whole deal potions. And they're not
Oh,
likely
yeah.
items that we're going to be trading away.
What about
Well,
the?
you
Do the
want to-
goblet.
Yeah,
Wasn't that magical? It was dried
Which one?
blood in it. Oh wait, was that
What about-
magical?
what would they do with something like the wand made of tongues?
You don't know. I mean, unless you offer it, you don't know what they'd do, or how she'd react.
I don't think they'd want it. One thing I would say, quickly without trying to derail us, if we got stuff like a suit of plate mail with the Clandagan symbol on it, we are on a mission for the dwarves. We might be able to turn that into them and get them to do a favour for Patar. Would we be able to try to do something like that, or give that to Patar and they get a favour from the dwarves?
No, they would not. I mean, like, doing a complex, here, we give you this, you do this thing for them, that kind of... No, that's not gonna... They're not gonna accept that.
Yeah.
You're donating directly to this church
Right.
for stuff.
Can I ask a
Okay.
question
What
to
about
Ockar?
Well,
this?
first of all, Leva, you want to identify the, what again?
I wanted to identify the flask, but Lafdul is correct. This may not be worth enough for this run of the identification if we want to give stuff away. So, Leva would go for the smooth open stuff with mithril and carved runes that we found on the illicit.
Those
Okay.
are something that,
We'd probably use, but
yeah.
Hmm?
Those
Alright.
are something that
That,
most likely we will be using.
that does have a powerful combat enchantment that is invoked upon a strike. And
Interesting.
the
another
spell
staff
ends
of
there.
striking.
Spell ends
All
there.
right. So,
What
Solas,
about-
it's your turn now.
What about earlier? We found on the top of that place. We found a large dwarven throne. Was that at all magical?
No.
No, it was just a throne.
Okay.
Well, right now you've got the two-handed sword, the two battle axes, and the brandistock.
That might go for one restoration, if not two.
We only need one.
Yeah.
That
We only need one.
Yeah, but this is like because we're using the scroll.
Question to Finn. Is that staff, would that be useful for you?
It would be useful for him.
You can let him
Snare
answer.
weapon.
You can let him answer.
Well, perhaps I could give it a try.
Yeah. Well, then let's find something else if that might be useful. for you.
Also, I can use magical quarterstaffs.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I was trying to find things that are obviously not useful to any of us,
Yeah.
and we just pile them on and then see what else we need to find.
Honestly, I think with the free magical battle axes plus a two-handed sword,
Yeah.
that should be enough. And plus, we can throw in like a ornamental short sword.
I'm also. Of
I
the
have
opinion
2
that-
axes that you were putting in. Did you want to put the third one in?
Isn't one being used by Ockar?
Not that one.
Yeah.
So hang on. In total, on this adventure, we found 4. Ockar's using 1. We found 3 others.
It was a dwarven citadel. Yeah, there were a lot of axes.
All right.
Leva proposes that we also use, since Higimus is really useful for all of us, that we actually put in some company funds.
Well, Braxton's
Yeah.
already put in 1,000 gold.
Yeah, that's personal gold.
Yeah, I know.
So let's add some company
And-
funds. What do you think would be the right amount?
Well, real fast. Did you want to give? I only wrote down because I only heard definitely giving away 2 of the axes. Did you want to give away the third one that detected as necromantic and healing?
Can we test that axe?
I already said, could Braxon hold that axe while he was still injured, and
Yeah. If
said no.
if
So
I injure Braxon,
If
does it hit me
so,
with it?
what if this is a Vorpal axe? You know, are you sure you want to test that kind of thing? I mean, what if it's an axe of sharpness? What if it's
It's a risk
you're
we
really
take.
just talking about hacking away at your friends to test them? I'm gonna have to say no to that. That's
Yeah.
that is not a good act.
This is
No
Lafdul.
neutral act.
This
I've
is
got a ring of
Lafdul.
regeneration.
This is Lafdul
It's-
determined to lend me his ring and then chop my hand off.
I'm not. That's you would like. It's too gamey.
Yeah.
You know, it's a game. It's just hit points. It's fine. We can just hack at each other, see what happens. You would never do that in real life, even if you had a ring of regeneration, because it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've poked at each other a couple of times, but an axe is pretty serious.
Well, and I mean, and there's a difference between training and sparring and actually seeing what happens when you hack at someone else with a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you could definitely
I-
use this to train, but you would not learn anything out of it.
I think if Braxon did say yes, he would flinch and jump out the way.
Most likely.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to like put a foot down on that because it's too gamey and it's too like you need to keep in mind how your characters would act in such a situation. I find it hard to believe that anyone would just stand there and let someone else slash at them with an axe.
Yeah,
Let's-
Solas, if he was in the same room when someone even proposed that, would immediately say no to no one doing that.
So again, did you want to put in that axe or not?
Braxon would be up for it.
Yeah, I can try to.
As far as Braxton's concerned, if
I
we
can try to-
overpay, we're helping his church.
That's fine. So does anyone object to putting that in?
No objections from me.
Okay.
Fine.
And how much company funds did you want to put in?
What would be the right amount?
It's up to you.
Well, I'm asking the other players. I'm
Okay.
asking
10,000.
the others of
In
our
total.
groups. How much?
Probably 10,000 from the company funds. That with the items will be enough.
Have we got that much? Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have enough.
We have 43,179 gold at the moment.
Say, for example, if they're like +1 axes, for example, we tend to buy those at the range of like 5k each. If it's just that, if it's got another enchantment, it probably goes up to like 10k.
Yeah.
A restoration, if I were to guess, it's probably around 50,000. So we need to. It's going to be close enough that she's not going to be insulted by it.
Yeah.
So 10,000.
10,000 free battle axes and that round of stock. That will be enough. For
I
to see
mean,
how she reacts.
remember that Higimus also already offered that 200
And the
sword.
200 sword as well.
Yeah.
Oh, without the. Alright, maybe we don't need the gold with the 200 sword. because that's 5 magical items.
Well,
Yeah, no,
it,
And at least one of them has 2 enchantments.
it wouldn't hurt to offer some more gold.
Generally, if the offer is close enough, she won't be offended. It's not like we're offering one item.
And keep
we'll
in
just
mind,
have to gauge a reaction.
And keep in mind also that, like, I'm not playing that a magic item is worth X amount.
Yeah, I don't know how much it is. I'm just going based on how much we've paid for items, and it's somewhere in that range.
Yeah. So basically, we don't know the
It's
value of the item. She doesn't know. It's basically it's an eyeball thing, isn't it?
Right.
But she does know that what we tell her, that they are magical and they have these kind of enchantments, which is quite useful information.
Are we going to do the second thing of identification and win by Solas, or is that not happening? I just want to know that.
I don't think it's necessary since you've kind of. It sounds like you guys have decided on these items.
We can do it later.
I mean, there needs to be a round of identification. You guys have a lot of stuff to identify.
Yeah.
But I don't. I want to handle this right now. So if it's not necessary for this, then I think it should wait.
I'm okay with those 3 battle axes, that 200 sword, that brandy stock or whatever it was, and Braxon said 1,000 gold from his own pouch.
Yeah. That's to cover the first thing as well. Anyway.
Yeah, but this is for the whole thing, I mean.
Yeah.
I want to say this, regardless, if I feel that if we knew what the second effect on that axe was, because it's healing, that is an extremely rare enchantment. It's unusual. You don't get healing on an axe.
Right. In that case,
that could literally be worth the restoration by itself.
That's a good point. But do you want to get Solas to do further identification on that, or identify something you might want to swap out for that?
I mean, On's not saying no, we can't do it. So if we can, we should. We've got a chance to identify.
Would you get Solas to do
and identify
more stuff on the same thing?
Is it random which effect you don't get to choose? It's just random what's picked when you identify something.
No, it's not. I mean, if you already know that something does a thing, then you're not going to...
to specifically identify the healing.
You're specifically identifying more functions. That's...
So that and the 200 sword, that we don't know what the 200 sword does, I don't think. We know it's magical.
I mean, it's up to you guys.
Well, I can do more identifying.
Because it's 100 gold for, like, knowing something's worth 20,000.
Go for it then. Let's get it done.
Okay, I will identify the healing axe.
Alright, what level are you again?
I'm 6th level.
Okay.
There's no variation on this great Solas.
You do not learn anything else about the axe.
I'm sad by this spell.
What about the 200 sword that Higimus offers?
That just has a combat enchantment.
Okay.
Alright. I think that was the only two.
Yeah, but again, as long as you have this, you might as well keep going.
Yeah.
That was the other reason why I... Okay, what else do you want to identify?
I will use one of the... to identify the magical figurine.
Is that something we might give away if she says this isn't enough?
I think he's just doing it.
I think we have figured out what we are already giving up.
I know, but we haven't made the offer. If she said that's not quite enough, would we offer
the rest in gold?
Then we can offer a rest in gold.
Yeah, and the gold, we should be able to make up the difference in gold.
Okay.
Alright, so
Is this a figurine that Braxon likes that looks like a rabbit?
I don't think we're giving that away. Definitely not giving something like that away. Well, depending.
Okay.
Yeah,
Turns to use it into rabbit.
Braxon wants if he can rub it and say the magic word and it turns into a giant
let Old tell us what I can find out.
All right. That detects, or that the identify reveals that that has a power to burrow.
Power to
Oh,
burrow.
Probably summons a. Does it summon?
Mm.
That's what you learn.
It doesn't say it summons, it just says it has power to burrow.
Yeah.
that's good.
Does it have charges?
Yeah.
It does not reveal that it has charges.
Do you ever figure out if something is per day or something like that?
You figure out that something is per day by trying to use it more than once per day.
Oh, right.
And doesn't it can? Don't you get identification if it has charges?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
it
you do
doesn't
get a
have
reading.
charges.
You do get a reading on the number of charges. Not a specific number, but
Yeah.
Feel.
So this thing doesn't have charges.
I guess the skull. Next.
Yeah, I could.
It's not a skull, it's a gem.
Was it the dark green, almost black?
Oh, hang on.
oblong gem.
We seem to have the rabbit down twice.
Okay, but you're identifying the gem.
There was a gem
Yeah.
inside the skull that was magical.
Okay. Identify reveals that that holds great knowledge within it.
Mm.
Is there a recall skill?
Further, it reveals that that knowledge can be transmitted to an owner of that gem.
It's another recall thing, probably. Have you got the description of your identification on your Pearl of Power level?
I'm sorry.
On your Pearl of Power, do you have a description of what it was identified as? Actually, no, I don't know. It's too much my game. Forget it.
I can almost certainly tell you that this is identifying differently than that.
Yeah, I thought Code Create
I'm-
and it might be like scrying.
I vaguely recall saying that gave the ability. I would not have used this description with the Pearl of Power.
Yeah.
All right, what else you want to identify?
Should I identify the Ockar's magical crossbow eye biter?
Yeah, you'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Did we identify the axe as well?
Yeah, we've done the access now.
Well, not your combat axe, but the ones we are giving away.
Okay, go ahead and identify Eyebiter.
All right, that just has a combat enchantment on it.
Still good though.
Maybe it's good.
If I still can cast or identify stuff, I will identify the Ockar's battle axe.
Okay, where did that go in my list? Give me a second.
Yeah, they're fans of short swords and battle axes, so Sturger.
I mean, they are dwarves.
It's just Dwarga that use short swords generally, though, isn't it?
I mean,
no, it's
normal
definitely
dwarves
not just.
can
They do
use-
have a preference for it.
No.
So that reveals that that has an additional enchantment that affects undead.
Affects
Oh.
undead.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Flame thing. Yeah,
And that ends a spell. You would realize that there is more to that that axe.
Okay, I will tell that there is more to that axe, but axe affects undead.
That axe is quite heavily enchanted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got the two-handed sword, the three axes, and the brand of stock. 1,000 gold pieces from Braxon. And did you or did you not want to put in 10,000 from the company fund? Lafdul's feeling that the
I
5
say-
items
I-
are enough.
5 magic items should be enough. to at least gauge a positive reaction. She might say it might be a bit more, but it's.
I say if you don't
feeling.
want to, I say if you don't want to do 10, we could do 5.
Yeah.
All right, 5.
All right. Any disagreements there?
I can agree with 5.
All right. Okay, so you offer her a total of 6,000 gold pieces and these 5 magic items, and she says, "That is quite generous. I do appreciate that." And she casts the spell from another scroll on Higamus. And he feels a lot better.
Yay! Oh, thank God he resists.
That's good.
A lot better or back to normal?
He's back to normal.
Back to normal.
Okay.
If he hadn't or if he had resisted, we would have demanded the money back.
Good luck with that.
30-day return period.
Good luck with that.
I don't think the church.
So what were the items that we lost? You can tell us. Given them.
I'm not going to be giving you the exact descriptions, but I will give you a basic rundown. The two-handed sword was just a two-handed sword plus 1. The Brandistock was a +1 weapon, but it also paralyzed on hit.
That would have been nice.
I'm missing out on some great item names too, but see if I give the item names, then I can't reuse them.
Yeah, but the good thing is these will go off to help the Church of Patar. So we might meet someone who's using one at some point.
The battle axe with the clear bladed head. That was a blade made of quartz. And that had a slightly less powerful version of the ice brand effect.
Okay.
The axe that had the slots in the head, that was a battle axe plus 2, and
Healing axe.
no, this is not the healing one. This is a law one.
Yeah, but
I'll get to that in a second. The slots in the head allowed you to spin the axe around above your head and harm evil creatures in some way.
Yeah,
I'm not
nice.
going to go into too much detail. The healing...
Does everyone want to take guesses?
Healing axe? Yeah, go ahead. Yes, make guesses.
I think it's vampiric. What are other people thinking? Come on. Someone's got a guess.
I think it works like Braxton's stick.
Can absorb life.
No, I think the holes work like a whistle.
No, that's one that I just talked about. We're talking about the...
This is about the healing axe. It's got healing necromantic.
And that had a serrated blade.
Right.
I think it's vampiric because it looks like an evil. Like it draws blood, it absorbs life. Or something.
Maybe it does wounds that carry on bleeding.
Closure. Like that scabbard, that sin.
It's surgical axe.
Braxon is correct.
For heart bypass.
What's it do? Sorry.
Well, you could listen to me. You could listen to the rerun after the end of the show.
Yeah, too late. No,
Yeah.
it creates it creates wounds that bleed uncontrollably.
Oh,
that is nice.
Well, it's also not very nice.
Yeah.
It's
basically
really not very nice if someone had actually tried it on someone of
so
us.
Lafdul could use it because he's neutral, and he can use any weapon. I just out of curiosity.
It's not strictly evil, but certainly overuse and enjoying the usage of it would not be great. It was also +3.
Right.
Yeah, I think Braxon would enjoy fighting someone with it and saying, "If you surrender, we'll treat your wounds."
It was arguably one of the most powerful items in the that you found.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Depending how effective.
And now Braxton's church is better off than all the other churches on Brow.
I don't know. My
Have
church
we-
has Ockar. They have an active paladin. Paladins are rare.
All right, so Leva, you were off at the Mages Guild looking for someone who would have that 5th level identification spell that you wanted, Bubka's Superior Identifier, right?
Correct.
Okay. What are you willing to trade for that? Someone is willing to trade that, but they it's a rare spell, and they have they like having a monopoly on
Yeah.
using this to identify people's
You got our
goods.
scroll or something.
Just a moment. I just got messages from all over the place. I looked at the different spells. I don't know which. What knowing Leva, she'd probably get something and put a whole spell book on top of it and lug it around with her and say, "Do you want one of those? Not the spell book, but a spell from inside."
He'd be willing to take the spellbook.
Psst. Only to learn, not only to exchange.
He's looking for something more tangible than that, than just changing spells.
He wants an item.
He wants
Or
an
money.
item.
Or money. Yeah, I'll take money too.
Or money. How much would that cost? Would that be? I mean, he's not in a temple. He can just plain out tell me what he wants.
He's also curious to see what you're willing to offer.
It's 5th level.
I mean, always ask the offer first, because they might offer you more than you.
Yeah, I mean,
Would,
like
ask.
if he says, "Oh yeah, I'll do it for X amount," and you're like, "Woof, I was willing to pay 10 times that," then he's clearly lost out.
You got unusual spells.
But you don't tell
They're-
them, "Whoa, I was gonna pay 10 times that," because then they stare at you and be like, "Okay, then I'm charging that."
No.
I'm-
Leva knows just a little bit more than that. It's not like, remember, Lafdul, when you tried to trade and bargain, and you. No, we won't revive that. We won't talk about that. Correct?
I can't even remember what you're referring to, but sure.
We're
Regardless,
trying.
what do you have anything that you'd be willing to give up?
I'm just looking at the stuff.
That's where you need Lafdul to cast Inferred Ethics on him. Actually, no, he would no longer trade, probably.
What?
You'd have to time it exactly right.
Also, he's quite high level mage, so he would have.
Yeah, no,
most
I'm
likely
just thinking in the
quite,
ideal situation.
quite good
I
resistance.
lucked out so hard when I cast down to get Higbus free. Nothing.
And also took away for a chance for me and Level get new spells.
Yeah, rare water spells.
I have to confess, I'm not immediately good enough that I can say this is rare, this is not rare, this is worth it or not. That as out of character. I'd have to literally almost go through every spell and have it and check it up and see, is this or is this not worth it.
Well, you could
to be offered.
also trade him a scroll or something like that, or a magic item, or money.
Think of it like this. What could he, if you give him a spell or a scroll that could be useful for him to make money off of, then he'll take that, because this is what he's using his superior identification for. He's using it as a money maker. Give him something that he can make money off. A spell. That
How
would probably
common
be
is- How common is Homunculus Shield?
Not very common.
So if I offer the scroll to him with that on it at 16th level.
It's unusual, put it that way.
He would agree to that trade.
All right, let's do it then.
Okay.
So he gets preserved wood, airy water. What's the other one? Whirlpool and Homunculus Shield.
All right.
And Leva gets Oh God.
Now you
There
need
against
to
the-
now you need to roll to learn to see if you learn the spell.
Oh, so a chat, only a chat. Oh, it's
Lafdul, shut up. Lafdul, not a word. What is it in a D100? Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's a guaranteed win, success at this point.
Well done,
Shout out to
Lafdul.
Laf.
Thank you.
Lafdul's
For not
rather
saying
angry for
anything.
some reason. He doesn't know why.
Okay, so you now have access to Bubka's superior identification. Is it identifier or identification? I can't remember. Whichever.
Identification.
All right.
It's
I
a
couldn't find it
good
because it has
spell.
nothing to do with identify. Great.
So for those watching, it is a rare spell. I think that's probably from one of the Polyhedron magazines. I'd have to go look.
Dragon magazine.
Oh,
it
Dragon?
says here.
Okay.
What's it do?
It's a superior identifier.
Oh.
We need to buy new pearls. At
Yep.
least 250 gold value. Okay.
So Leva now knows that spell?
Yep. You also need to roll for a number of pages that it takes up in
Oh,
your
yes.
spellbook.
I didn't know she could cast level 5 spells.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a 9th level wizard.
Nice.
She can only cast one other than a wild.
Superior Identify gives you everything about an item, right?
Not exactly.
It's better than a regular one. That's all I know. I'm gonna look that spell up.
I'm thinking about getting a legend lore on this.
It does reveal exact properties, however.
Okay, that's good.
Does it give exact charges on a wand or something?
There's a chance to give the exact charges.
Ooh.
Oof.
All right, 8
Oh.
pages.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember, your wand of magic missiles was burnt up by this point, isn't it?
Yes.
It didn't disintegrate, but yeah, she tried to get 2 missiles out of it
Only
one
one
time
came out.
and only got 1.
Yes. It's gone. What a pity.
You had a lot of use out of that, to be fair.
Yes. Could she actually? No, I think the one, the magic missile one is gone. Well, what about the bone shards? Could she get that recharged? And how much would that cost?
Recharging is pretty expensive, but I mean, you could always try to get that recharged. It's also a time-consuming process.
Isn't it cheaper than getting a new one?
It is absolutely cheaper than getting a new one. It's just the big problem with it is that it's a time-consuming process, and it's not always guaranteed.
So it might be that we leave it here and go off on a mission and come back. Sort of thing.
Or you hold off on it until you have downtime.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to be around anyway, then it doesn't matter if they are holding onto it to recharge it. Alright, so Higamus has been restored. You have given up some of your items.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at spells and being quiet for a bit.
Is there anything else that you guys want to do here on Brawl? Or maybe some things that some people mentioned and I have now forgotten because we were doing that?
Yeah, I had that I was doing a while they were on the Temple of Path.
Right, alright, so you go to the Seekers.
I'm going to Seekers.
I would like to quickly say something at the Church Batar before we leave.
Alright.
Do they have any business in Kryn Space? Because we might be going there soon.
She does not believe that they have any urgent need to send a missive or anything to Kryn Space.
Okay. Right, thank you. That was all.
She thanks you for your generous donations to the Church of Ta.
I don't even think the Church of Batar is even active in Kryn Space.
They are. They're active pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
one of the
I would think Kryn Space would all
wild
be about
space
their gods,
naval deities.
since they're all about the moons and stuff.
No, they're like the McDonald's of churches. They're everywhere. Right, sorry, that's me done. Thank you.
Okay, so Solas, you make your way to the Library of the Spheres, and what questions or queries do you want answered?
First, I would inquire about the green space and if seekers have any recent news or interests in there, and since I'm most likely going there soon.
Most of the stuff that they have on that, there was recently a major war on one of the major continents of the major world in the sphere, Kryn. So that's where a lot of their information has been focused on, trying to find out who won, whether there's any repercussions there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a fairly backwater sphere, all things considered. It being the home of Tinker Gnomes notwithstanding. But there's not exactly a whole lot of news other than what's been going on.
Is there any place like Rock of Brawl that is not on the green world, but actually in the space that is a trading port and such?
There are multiple ports. There really aren't any like asteroid cities of substantial nature like this. But there are plenty of ports to call. The major like the most significant port is actually on the continent that didn't have the war, and is a large metropolis named Christophon, run by Minotaurs.
And do Seekers have any activity in the sphere themselves?
Not a whole lot. They don't have an active branch there, but they do have some agents out there. But they tend to move around gathering information. They don't have a permanent place. They do give you a place that you can go in Christophon if you end up there, that you can contact and like leave a message for a seeker agent for the next time they come. But they would tell you that that's a lengthy process. Like, it's not the kind of thing that you would want to like wait around the city for.
Do they have any messages or something like that that I could take there?
Not at this time, because this is the repository. They don't send a whole lot of information back over there.
Then I would like to see if they can show me the charts of the or maps of the system, so basically we know whereabouts things are in there.
They don't have great information. They do advise if you're going there to get a chart before doing so, but they can give you some information. Let me take a quick look. So other than the primary, Kryn is the third planet out. The one planet further in, it's a rocky world. They know that it's heavily... it's known as a kind of a dwarven and gnomish world. There's a lot of dwarves and gnomes living there doing mining. And in terms of actual like cargo hauling, that's one of the major destinations because of, you know, they're frequently in need of food, but they also have a lot of raw materials that they ship off. Further in, there's a cool fire world, and that doesn't get a whole lot of travel. one out from Kryn is a world known as Kislev, and that is quite popular as they understand it with Shao explorers. They see it as a live world. The Seekers consider it just an earth world with a heavy vegetation.
Okay.
It's very jungly, is what they say. Not a whole lot of ports there. They don't have a whole lot of information. They would advise you get local information if you're considering going there before you do so.
Mm-hmm.
Further out is an air world known as Zivlin, and that has a number of moons, some of which are trading destinations. Next world out, they don't know a whole lot about it. It's very obscure, small, and appears to not be particularly inhabited. And then the outermost is a cluster of asteroids, which are also a common trading destination. But their general recommendation is to, if you're planning to visit there, either get more detailed charts than they... Like, they're not in the business of doing charts, so they don't have that kind of thing. You know, a lot of their information is a little bit more esoteric, but they recommend getting charts before going there if you're considering it. Those charts will oftentimes indicate common ports and stuff like that.
Yeah, the information already is plentiful, and then I will ask to see someone who is knowledgeable with banners and such, heraldry, so to speak.
Okay. You visit one of their scholars, who's...
Yeah, I show him a few of the banners that I took from the Citadel, and if he could help me identify them and possibly suggest a book about them, so I can figure out who were the owners and possibly return them from the pirates' lair.
Many of them are defunct trading costers from over 100 years ago. Some of them are known pirates from that period of time. There's a few that are still around.
There were a few noble banners, if I remember correctly, you said.
I don't remember if I said that specifically, but either way, all of them are from over 100 years ago. Some of the things still exist, but Brawl itself wasn't Brawl what it is today 100 years ago. So there's not really anything local that you could...
those that are definitely defunct, I will donate to the library as a exhibition pieces or something like that.
Oh, they're quite grateful for that. They do appreciate that.
Yeah, since I don't really need them after that, so they can study them, and I will also mention that they were found in a dwarven citadel that was taken over by duergars and later on lizardmen.
He takes notes on that stuff. He's fascinated. He asks you a series of questions, not about like your actual activities there, but things that you might have learned.
Yeah, well, I will tell the general history that I learned about the place.
Yeah.
Nothing too specific. And then I will visit my master and basically see how he's doing, since it's been some time that I have last seen him, and also inform him that I'm most likely next traveling to the green sphere.
He's doing well. He wishes you well, and he says that he doesn't know too much about that crystal sphere. And he looks forward to reading your journals on the matter and your notes and reports.
Yeah, and I will also say that the reports that I sent yesterday evening were not the in-depth reports. Those I will write once I have a good amount of time.
He appreciates that. He's read those already, and he looks forward to seeing what else you have to say.
Then I will bid him farewell and say that I hope to see you next time I visit Brawl, and hope to see him in good health.
He's been feeling pretty good lately, so he's hoping that his health continues.
Yeah. After that, I will visit the Mages Guild and try to find someone willing to trade for Aganazar's Scorcher.
Okay. That is not as rare a spell. They'd be happy to trade that if you allow them to peruse one of your spell books that has similar higher level spells and see if there's anything that he wants.
It's second level spell, so I will happily accept.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your chance to learn.
Okay, just a moment. I need to check what the chance was. It was okay. Yeah, that succeeds.
Yep. All right, so you're able to write that into your spellbook. Go ahead and roll for the number of pages.
It was D6 plus the level of spell.
-1.
-1. So D6 -1.
No, it's 1d6 plus the level -1. So
okay,
for a first
D6
level spell,
plus
it's just 1d6, and 1d6 plus 1 for second level, and so on. That's a lot of pages.
Yeah, well, I did get new spellbook made.
All right.
Recently, so not that big of a deal.
For being someone who likes books a lot, you're really taking a lot of fire spells.
I mean, just because I take fire spells doesn't mean that I'm using them on the books.
No, it's just one of those dangerous things, might get close to the books.
Besides, Aganazar's Scorcher is too good of a combat spell to miss out, especially since I don't have that many good second level combat spells.
It is a pretty nice one. All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to do if you're purchasing spell components and stuff like that? That can be handled off screen. Just do the calculation if you haven't yet.
Do they have
stuff? You can talk
do they have a place selling spyglasses?
Yes. They are 1,000 gold pieces.
Weren't they cheaper? No, in Spark, I can't remember.
Well, let's go back there then.
I can't remember.
I don't remember if they were or not.
Because
you're not there.
You've got like the Raleigh and plus 10% on anything you purchase, isn't it? So, or whatever. I can't remember what it was.
High-priced items that are like the Brawl Premium is for common stuff. High-priced stuff doesn't get increased.
But there's also the thing that if we go to a place where everything's cheap, they might not have a market for selling spyglasses.
Yeah.
So we might go somewhere and they go, "We got loads of cheap wood." You go, "Can I have a spyglass?" And they go, "What?" We just hold our thumb up.
I think spyglasses would be sold in all major ports.
Definitely not all major ports. That is an expensive piece of work.
I mean, to have one in stock, you need to be in a place where people just walk in with 1,000 gold pieces and chunk it down on the table.
Not necessarily, but
well, if you had one in a store and it was there for like 30 years, everyone just went, "Oh, that's amazing." I could never afford that in my life.
Right, but I mean, like, sometimes you the shop is not one that makes their money on daily sales of that. Selling 2 per year covers their whole costs for the year, kind of thing.
That's true.
Like, that's how that kind of thing is more likely to operate. But they also have, a shop here on Brawl that sells that kind of thing. They're also selling hand mirrors. They're also selling brass fixtures for the ships, ship glass, all kinds of other glass and brass related things.
That's true.
And that's the high-end item that, they probably only have one made, and as soon as it's sold, they make another one and put it up on the shelf again, kind of thing.
Okay, well, is this a nice-looking one?
It's plain and ordinary, but it's clean and shiny and works perfectly well.
Is there anyone that sells magical spyglasses?
No.
Oh, what about that place, Gaspar's?
Gaspar's
Well,
Reclamations?
they're usually really expensive, aren't they?
Yes, and I have not checked to see what items they have. I'm assuming that you'll probably be stopping back here on Brawl after you're done with what you do on the Citadel. And I was
Before going to Forge Space.
Yeah, before going to Forge Space. So I was gonna generate it then.
Oh, let's just buy it. What's 1,000 gold pieces?
I mean, you're not going to be getting
apparently not much to you.
You're not going to be getting a magical spyglass. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Not easy.
Magical spyglasses are quite valuable.
The only the only things that would be showing up in the shops for magic items here are going to be things that are in the player's handbook or stuff that's in Spelljammer material in and of itself. Not the player's handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide. Sorry. Go ahead.
Braxon haggle for a carry case?
Oh, it comes with a carry case.
It comes with a carry case. Is it what's that like? Go on your shoulder or something?
Well, yes. It's also. I mean, it's made of wood and hinged to protect it. So and it rests on like velvet or something like that.
Okay. Is there a booklet with how to clean it or anything?
No.
Do I need to buy anything for keeping it well maintained?
The cleaning cloth, probably.
The same stuff. The same stuff that you use for cleaning like glass and stuff like that on the ship is
right. Okay. Well, I guess we'd have that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much.
All right.
Braxon has a look through it and thanks him.
All right. Finn, was there anything that you wanted to do here in addition to your visit to the Elven Forest?
He might gather some spell components while he's there.
Okay. The common stuff is for you use the formula that I gave you.
Would he be charged for that? He's joined us mid-adventure.
Yeah, because he I mean it's just automatic. It's he hasn't been in a port in a little while anyway. So if there's specific things that are like not common herbs and stuff like that in your item descriptions, in the spell descriptions, you do need to purchase those individually. Like if there's something that it requires a thing that costs 10 gold pieces, you have to purchase those specifically and in a specific amount. But if your spell just needs like rhubarb leaves, that's covered by the formula, and you just have an unlimited number of those essentially until you get back to port.
Like piece of bark for bark skin, etc.
Pieces of bark, common leaves, most of the stuff that doesn't have an actual value listed, that's covered by the formula.
Also, with as we've done it in the beginning with Solas and I've forgotten her name.
Sinray?
Sinray, yes. That it was okay for them to go into minus the first time because they weren't paid any money. So how could they actually sell stuff?
Yeah, if you don't have the money right now, there's an assumption that some of the money that you guys have picked up has already been distributed It's just that the accounting hasn't been done player-wise yet.
Okay.
So you could definitely go negative on that, and it'll just get covered when you get your cut from the money division.
Okay.
That's perfectly fine right now. And if you want, if there's specific things, like if you're pretty sure you're gonna get, 200 gold, over 200 gold, from the party treasure split, and there's 200 gold worth of things that you want to buy, you can go negative right now and just cover that cost when you get the party split from the treasure. So if there's additional equipment that you want to purchase, special spell components that you want to purchase, that sort of thing, yeah, just go ahead and get them, and keep note of, what you need to subtract from your eventual party split.
Okay.
Yes, Lafdul?
Lafdul needs some new lockpicks. Someone broke them. Certain officers of the company broke them.
I think someone needs to take better care of their things then. All right.
Hey, I
Yes, Lafdul does.
Yeah, you just don't lend it.
That's the point. I suppose
I'm
Braxon
going to the Thieves Guild to get mine. I don't know. You can go to the legitimate shop if you want to get.
Are you really saying that publicly to the whole group?
That's the point, because
Lafdul would just say, "Oh, there's
Lafdul
a shop that sells them," but you
would Braxon know about that shop with the lock that you get challenged to pick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also just ask for, is there a locksmith in town?
Yeah.
Yeah, since lock
well, what I mean is
a tool for also honest locksmith.
What I mean is that shop famous for come in and try and pick the lock?
I mean, is it famous? But it's certainly the kind of thing that if you were just to ask, is there a locksmith in town? Oh, yeah, over there, the Doll's Locks and Keys. She has this thing that if you can pick this special lock that she has, she'll pay you a reward, kind of thing. I
think Braxon will go there at some point and buy a set of lockpicks for.
I don't know if she sells lockpicks, does she?
Well, he'll ask for a set. She might say no.
I'm pretty sure she does.
I don't know if you want to do Lafdul first, but he'll just do that to get Lafdul off his back.
But she would definitely be like, are you a locksmith? Oh, it's for a friend. And he's like, are they a locksmith?
Yeah.
I'm only supposed to sell these to locksmiths, kind of thing. She would definitely at least give you the runaround.
Yeah. Well, Braxon would just go in there flat up and say he's from the company Sword, and he borrowed the lockpicks from our lockpicking expert, and broke one, and say, look, the guy's been giving me a lot of aggro for ages, and it's not my fault it broke, because it was obviously a bad lockpick. So, have you got any good ones?
30 gold pieces for a set.
That's the standard set. I'm buying the deluxe stuff. What I buy stuff.
And she would definitely not sell a deluxe set. This is the standard stuff.
Yeah, I'm buying my deluxe stuff from the Thieves Guild. So, how much is it going to cost me anyway to replace just 2 parts of them? Because both of them must. You'll do it after game.
If you want you want the highest quality stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go with 10 gold.
Yeah.
Has she got any? Is there a special bag they go in with, like the name of her place?
They're in a pouch, yeah.
They're in a pouch, yeah.
Not a pouch, but like a folded wallet type thing.
Has she got any gift wrap she can put them in if I give her another gold piece?
Gift wrap isn't really a known thing, so no.
Okay, fine, fair enough. So Braxon says, he has a look over him, like, and gives him a blank look because he doesn't know what he's looking at. Says, these look very nice. These look very nice. Thank you very much.
She thanks you for your patronage.
Yeah. Yeah, he shakes her hand and says, "You don't know how much he's been complaining of me breaking his lockpicks."
Well, I mean, anyone's tools of the trades would be are a precious thing. You should be more careful about them.
Of course. But I mean, the lockpicks he had were so obviously not bought from here. They were like substandard ones. Just kind of snapped when I looked at it. Anyway, thank you very much for your time.
She thanks you for your patronage.
Not at all suspicious customer.
All right. Any other things that people want to do in town?
Well, if I have time, I will go and check the situation at the temple.
All right,
Make sure that everything is okay in there.
It's been kept up pretty well by the locals.
I guess I'll check on my temple as well.
All right. Temple of Tyr is in good order. Priests there greet you and are eager to hear about your exploits as a paladin of the faith.
I'll be telling them about the recent Dwarven Citadel thing and fighting necromancer.
They would be rather expectantly at their paladins returning, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I told them about the necromancer Elithid that we fought.
They're shocked at
the Dracolich,
at the
dwarven vampire,
frightening things that you faced, and they're quite impressed at these deeds done in the name of Tyr. Some of the young acolytes may be getting a little bit of hero worship.
I'd give them a few tips on how to best deal with certain and how to best deal with the undead.
Just hit them with
always be courageous in battle.
Just hit them with the full strength, and they will break down.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, or are you guys heading back to the asteroid? The Citadel.
Obviously, I'll have to figure out the price post game, but I am purchasing stuff for ingestible sleep poison.
Yeah,
apparently
I'll
druids can do that, but I don't know if I know that from our druid.
I will need to think about that and look that up.
And yeah, that other thing I need to do.
I mean, if you want to discuss stuff like that with the with your druid friend, a new druid friend, that is perfectly fine. See what he can do. All right. So with that, you'd probably want to purchase some new food, fill up on water, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get that squared away after the game. You should have the amount, the prices listed for that, but if you can't find it, I'll look it up again.
There is something that I don't know if it should or should be messaged. I will try and type it out to you quickly.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're not sure, then always message me. I mean, is it something that you'd absolutely need to do here on Brawl first, kind of thing?
It's something that's going to be very noticeable at the end of the game. It's just based on what you've told me.
Okay. No, it should be fine. I wouldn't worry about that.
Are you going to be around at some time after the game? Because with our treasure and all that, I don't know how much lizardman tax we have to pay to access.
So do you want to split up the funds, the initial funds, after this session? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, it doesn't have to do it right now. I mean, I've got to move downstairs and stuff, but
then yeah, I mean we can do that after the session. I think I'll probably go run and get some ice cream, but I'll be back. in just a few minutes.
Is there possible to do something real quick with a couple of members of the party in a different chat room with you, Ward?
Oh. Or do you want the rest of us to turn our headphones off or something?
I will type out Todd quickly.
Are you... Send it over rather than Discord, send it over Roll20 so that it shows up in the chat then.
Ah,
I can turn my headphones off if I'm not wanted.
certain members are. It's kind of like a closed club, fortunately. But these are the things that you have to.
The first
play
rule
out
of
in a
Thief
certain
Club.
way.
First rule
Don't
of Thief
talk about
Club
Thief
is
Club.
You do not talk about Thief Club.
Don't talk about a thief club with a paladin in the party.
That'll go up to Thief Club and then it'll get messy.
It's like,
Well-
there's a thieves guild and bro.
Alright, how about this? The people who you want to do that, send them a message. Tell them to get into the lounge voice chat, which will pull you out of this one. And then I'll go join. We'll take care of that.
We're going to know
and then
who
come
moves.
back.
We get XP.
You will see
We're
who
gonna know
moves.
who
Yes, you can see who moves.
Yeah.
There's no other way. I mean, like, there is no way to do this secretly at all.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool.
So yeah, Lap will go ahead and PM them, and as soon as I see the people get in there, I will join them.
Huh.
Huh, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Alright.
this is certainly
It is
interesting.
curious.
Curiouser and curiouser. Alright, I'm hopping over there. Please stay in here for the moment, and then we'll be back shortly, because I still haven't given out XP and stuff.
I have...
So, hold on a moment. Alright, I'm here,
Alright.
and we're
Alright,
this is on the
so-
stream.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's certain ways about this that need to be handled. But obviously, for the audience out there, Lafdul went and robbed the tombs, obviously with a paladin and a priest, a lawful good priest in the party. He kind of couldn't do that. I was approached by Levin Braxon as, hey, could you do something about that, you know? And then it's just like, so Lafdul's gone and acquired the treasure. He's sold the treasure, and it came to about 6k. So I am handing over 2,000 to Levin, 2,000 to Braxon.
Is that that's
Well, I'm getting a little
before,
bit.
but that's before you the 10%.
Oh, the cut.
Yeah.
6,000. How was it? Can't do. 600. Hang on. Let me.
So 5,400.
5,400 divided by 3. Yeah, so they get 1,800 each.
800 each.
1,800 each. So Lafdul's going to be like, I was not expecting you to be that roundabout about it. Well, this is kind of like, well, it's unexpected from you two. I mean, they kind of, Ockar and Solas, they were kind of adamant that we don't do this, and yet we did it anyway. This is not anathema to my faith. This is just how Erevan is and how I am as a person. This is no thing on my conscience, so to speak, but it's definitely caught me off guard coming from you two. They were evil. They were evil dwarves. They were practical. It's like, well, they would kill us anyway. They would rob our graves. So, I wouldn't do it to a lawful good church or anything like that.
Hang on, because I asked Ald something. I asked Ald something last week about this, and he said, "Think about it. Does this go against the Church of Patar?"
Not directly, no.
Okay. Braxon smiles as he takes his share of the money.
I will say this.
Yeah.
For you, Braxon, given your current alignment, this is a chaotic act.
Okay.
And Leva, given your current alignment, this is a neutral act. Or, it's shifting you towards neutrality. So, keep in mind that these acts are not right now shifting your alignment, but there is that potential in the future for Braxon for you to shift to chaotic good, and for Leva for you to shift to chaotic neutral.
What's the price to pay?
You lose a level.
Ah, well. Ah! No,
You might be more comfortable in your other alignment. So there is the case that we need to keep up the forest, in that Ockar and Solas were expected to pay us off. Otherwise, we have the argument that we need to. If we suddenly don't ask for the money, then who's to say that we didn't rob the place? Because they're awfully happy. They're not pushing me for the money that I offered to pay off for them. It's kind of like, this only happened like yesterday, so to speak. So this should be fresh in people's mind.
Well, we could also say that we've been through a lot together.
We
let them off
just
this
say,
side.
we let them off.
I mean, you don't have to say anything either. They can.
This is going to be.
We can see if they remember.
I mean, they're going to know something is up because of this, but what exactly that is, who knows? And there's a difference between what the characters know and what the players know. But
yeah,
the bigger thing from my point of view as Dungeon Master is that these are actions that have the potential, if you continue along this route, to change your alignments.
We sit on Brow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lafdul just pulled you aside and given you a load of money.
Yeah. Is this pulled aside for a second, or do we have time on Brow to do other things?
I would have just said, can you meet me in like a park somewhere in like an hour or something?
Okay.
Same level.
Well then, can Braxon go to the Church of Patar on the way back and give all the money to them?
You can if you want. That's entirely up to you.
Yep.
All right.
Well, Leva has no church, so there's no question about it.
That's fine. That's fine.
She looks at you and shrugs and says, "I don't know what you're doing there." Okay.
I mean, the act is done. Braxon doesn't have to tell. I mean, if Braxon's self-justification is that he did this to then donate it to the Church of Ptah, that's fine too. I'm just saying that there's.
I might still go chaotic or something. That's fine.
Right. So the thing is that if everyone in the party was fine with taking all that stuff, and the lawful good members had justification for it that I agreed with, then this actually wouldn't be greedy. But 2 members of the party said, no, we shouldn't do this, we should respect the dead, and 2 other members of the party who are good were like, alright, let's go behind their back and take this money. Yeah. That's greedy.
The thing is,
and that's why it's risking your alignment.
That's fine.
This is perfectly normal behavior for what Lafdul does. Lafdul was a thief. This is what's caught him off guard, really off guard.
And Lafdul is chaotic neutral already. So
and Braxon hasn't told Lafdul that he wanted the money to give to his church.
No, whatever you do with the money is up to you.
Yep. I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys satisfied for now, ready to get back into the other chat?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going back in.
Right.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Come back.
Everyone is back. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Finn, you've sent me some lists of things that I need to get some prices for. I'll get you that shortly after the game ends.
Okay.
The whistle carved from the bone of a wolf. I'm going to need to double check the spell because you might have to do that yourself, but I'll just double check that.
Was that the summon animal spirit?
Yep.
Out of curiosity, could you use the one that I carved?
Again, that's why I have to check, because it may be something that you have to be.
It might be
involved
intrinsic
with.
to the.
I just need to double check it. All right. Is there anything else that you guys want to do on Brawl before you set off back for the Citadel? All right.
Can't think anything.
Sounds good.
Higamus checked with his office. Was there any jobs?
Nothing of note.
Is there anything about pirates in the local area that we might see on the way back to our asteroid or off to green space.
Yeah, I mean, in the course of visiting the pub, you heard about a few pirates. It's more of a case of if you encounter them, then I will let you know. Oh yeah, you heard about this one.
Yeah, cool.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of assuming that anytime you're back in Brawl, you're checking. Hey, any pirates? If we encounter them, we can get a reward on that kind of thing. So,
I think we've just about got enough wood to be going on with. There'll be. Do we know of any ports in Kryn space that are going to be as good as Brow?
Kryn is
we need repairs and stuff.
Generally considered somewhat of a backwater, and one of the continents was just completely engulfed in a major war.
Yeah. But how about the rest of wild space?
So, I mean, you heard what I told Solas. Some of that is common knowledge to people around the docks who travel a lot. Mainly that there is a dwarven world, essentially, that's a common destination. There are some moons around an air world that have some, like, farming. One of them is a fairly agrarian world with lots of farms and stuff like that. That's a common destination. And then there's the outermost world is a cluster of asteroids that is a fairly common destination as well.
What I'm basically getting at is... would we want to wait a bit and buy some lumber before we leave? Or do we think we'd be able to get it there?
I mean, but that a lot of that depends on where you go. One of the worlds there that doesn't really have any major ports, is a very jungle world, heavily forested world covered in jungles, so...
Right. Would we be able to cut down trees, or is that just too complicated?
You can. It takes time, and you got to plane them and stuff like that. But you've got skilled carpenters and skilled woodworking tools, so yeah, you can do that.
So I wasn't thinking that as a dodge to avoid paying. I just meant if we went around and everyone went wood. No.
I mean, you'll absolutely be able to get wood in multiple places.
Okay, cool. Right.
I mean, if it's not too big of a detour, we could always visit the beavers on Iron Piece.
Yeah, but I mean that's
wood.
Just Lafdul go around as a gnome again.
If Lafdul would do that, Solas would say do something about Lafdul.
That's true. But that's here. I just meant if we go there and we get some bad rolls on the repairs of the ship, we take a bunch of damage.
Any spell jamming port will sell wood.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So I just wanted to check.
The question is going to be whether the wood is expensive or cheap. And
silly question.
You are not going to know that until you get there at this point, given that you don't have anyone familiar with the sphere.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Lafdul?
What happens if you got a ship that needs stone to repair or whatever? Or iron? All ships all wood?
It's less common, but it depends on the... I mean, again, you're on a giant rock in space right now.
Yeah. No, I'm just wondering if...
And catapult stones are made out of stone.
If we had a ship that was primarily made out of stone, is it detailed on a ship that it can be repaired with stone, so to speak?
You need stone masons instead of carpenters.
Yeah, but it depends entirely on the ship. Keep in mind that what a ship saves as isn't necessarily what it's made out of.
Yeah.
Like elven vessels save as ceramic, they're not actually ceramic. They're primarily wood. It's just that the nature of the wings and the structure and everything like that changes what it saves as. Wood is still pretty common on most ships. There are very few that are actually made entirely out of stone. Dwarven citadels would be one. Dwarven citadels would be one. And yeah, you need stonemasons to repair that. But that's, you're not like, boarding up the holes in a hull. You're replacing smashed parapets and walls and stuff like that. So, and even then, you oftentimes need wood to, shore it up temporarily while you replace the stone anyway. So, all right, you guys all good? Ready to head back to the Citadel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so you get underway, and let's go ahead and distribute some experience points. That is going to be, let's see.
I don't think Braxon's getting any freeze combat. Combat with a duck.
700 experience points for Braxon and Lafdul.
700.
Yep. 800 experience points for Leva. And 600 experience points for Finn, Ockar, and Solas.
I just need 20,000 and I'll level up.
What do you mean 20,000? Just barely more than 1,000. $1,251.
I need to have a look, see when I get
Getting
my...
so close to next level.
So close, yet so far.
Yeah, still need about 800 altogether, or a bit over 400. Well, 400 with the experience modifier I have would be enough to level up my mage.
All right. If you guys wanted to buy any pearls, I saw that some people are buying them. Go ahead and make a note that you were buying them as well. Leva's new spell requires 250 gold pieces for the pearls.
She got one of them.
Keep in mind also that it's a kind of situation where you learn more detailed information, but oftentimes not as it's more narrow versus wide. The identify spell is wide, the way that I play it, because I allow you to use the same spell to identify multiple items, which is a house rule. I am not doing that with this new one. It is one item, period.
Okay.
Right.
So.
So may I actually get more than one?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I brought it up. If you want to do a little bit more than that, you will need to do more than one. And I mean, you can also say that use company funds and buy 4 for the company or something like that, as an example. It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
But that's going to wrap up this session. We come back next time. Get back to the Citadel. I assume you're going to move it. That's kind of the idea. Move it back close to your asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
then,
if they're agreeable.
And then take the artifact out.
Yeah, we've got to talk to them about how much we're giving them.
All right. Okay, then that's what we've got on the agenda for next week.
Thanks very much for the game.
All right.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens when this thing moves.
Yeah, it should be exciting.
Yeah, Percy goes into coma. That's another adventure trying to get him out of coma.
Anyway, thank you guys for playing. Thanks everyone out there for watching. We'll be back next week. See you then, everyone.